going on, good people? It's your boy Gaming Dad, and I'm back with another one. I had the good people over at, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm not gonna mess it up, it's NYXI. They reached out to me and said, hey, we like your videos, would I mind kind of reviewing one of the controllers? I said, sure, no problem. Give me a controller and let me put it through its paces. And so, what I ain't further ado, let's go ahead and box this bad boy real quick. This second ain't tape, no tape. I hope my kids don't disturb me because, you know, they're good for that, especially when I first start. Okay, they sent me some white ones. I didn't know what color they sent me. It wasn't labeled on the box. Put that box over here. Let's see if I can get this paper off. That goes off. All right. They feel as light as the Split Pad Pros. I don't know about as big. I'll compare them to the Split Pad Pro, but so far, I mean, this light. You got it. Okay, so it has a battery in it because you have the USB-C charger here at the bottom. What is it? And it's like that on both controllers. All right, some little pass rating system. Once again, the buttons feel just like a Split Pad Pro. I would say compared to the Split Pad Pro, the travel distance on the controller is smaller. The D-pad feels a little mushy, but you know, we'll put them through its paces. Throw this out the way. To give you a USB-C cord, put it over the side, and I don't know if this, okay, now this is just a shell. This is show you what controller it is. It slides right in like any other controller. All right, I do like the size of it when the middle piece is connected. It kind of gives you that pro experience. Let me see real quick. All right, this is compared to a regular Pro controller, so it's a little bit wider than the Pro controller. Let me put this right here in the middle so you can really see it. A little bit wider than the Pro controller. You know, Pro controller is here. Let's see, the travel distance is about the same. Yeah, let's see, the travel distance is about the same, if not a little shorter than here, but definitely the travel distance on the Split Pro is a little bit farther. So, buttons feel, the face button feels a little bit more snappier. Okay, they feel a little more mushier on these controllers here, but you know, nevertheless, you know, it's so far so good. I think it's so far this initially, I do like the buttons on the back. I like the piece here, so it shows me that I don't need to have it connected to the device. That's definitely a plus compared to the Split Pad Pro. So we're going to connect it with the Switch, compared to the Steam Deck, compared to the Dolby controller, and get the sizes, and you know, I put it through its paces and see where we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your boy is back. I want to compare it to my current champ for Nintendo controllers, Nintendo Switch controllers, and this company is made by Nexego, but it's also Dolby. They were my champs from last year. I just love the way this controller felt. I love how it fit into the system. It was just a smooth experience. I really like the thumbstick on this side here. Only have my main complaint here is this tab here. But once we got this one in the season, you can compare the sizes. They're about the same size. This might be a little bit wider, maybe, I don't know, half a centimeter if that. But it feels great in the hands. With this controller, it is dockable. If these controllers were to go completely out and you needed to recharge them, and take a full 2 hours to charge, give you 8 hours of play time. However, once they're connected to the Switch charges the controller, so that is a plus. D-pad, you know, every controller comes out with a D-pad, but how I test the D-pad is I play Pac-Man 99, and after playing Pac-Man 99 for a little while, I would tell you that it's phenomenal. It's probably the second best D-pad of any Nintendo Switch controller. The only D-pad that's probably nicer than this, matter of fact, it's two of them. One of them is off the what you call that? First of all, this is the best. This is the best D-pad on any Nintendo Switch controller. This bad boy is buttery smooth. It is the best off the Nintendo Switch Lite. However, the Power A has a controller. Oh, here it is right here. This one here, the Nano A, it is the best D-pad of any Nintendo Switch controller right here. It's better than the original. The original, when it comes to Pac-Man, it sucks anyway. But you know, and even the D-pad for this one here, it's just a little stiff. It's good, it'll do the job, but it's stiff. However, this one here is buttery smooth. It's not hard on my thumbs. It's nice, man. And Pac-Man 99, like I said before, is the litmus test when it comes to figure out which is the best controller. Here's another thing I like about this compared to the Split Pad Pros. This Split Pad Pros here. When you put these in here, you get a little creak in the end. You know, it's just a little creak. But with these here, it's nothing, none of that. It's solid. It's solid in there. It's a nice build, man. Like I said before, man, this is the game in which I play to check the test on it, and man, it is what I say, a great D-pad, really responsive. Man, I just can't complain, not one bit, man. This is a great controller. It is closing in. I got some more things to check out on it, but it's closing in on like the best controller. I gotta be able to use the D-pads and things of that nature. But man, this playing, you can see right now, playing Pac-Man 99, man. It's a fast, responsive game, and you need that D-pad to be accurate. And this bad boy gives me what I need. Oh man, it's a phenomenal experience, man. I'm telling you, nothing like it. If you ever want to test your D-pad, this is the game to try it out on, Pac-Man 99. In comparison with the Steam Deck, you can see from your own eyes that it's just a small, the Steam Deck is just a tad bit bigger, just a little bit. But this is way lighter than the Switch Deck. Even though the Switch Deck is not bad, I'm gonna get my own video coming out about the Switch Deck. I said Switch Deck, but Steam Deck, you might even call it a Switch Deck because they look like a Switch, but it's not that big. So, you know, you definitely got a comfortable experience in comparison with the Steam Deck. Another big difference that I noticed between the Split Pad Pro and these controllers here is that they're flush different. So like with these, you see with the Split Pad Pro, it kind of fits the back of it, but man, you see that? I don't know if you can see that, but that's a lot of wiggle room if you get into any game. Have it broke? Of course not. It hasn't broke, but still, I don't like that because if it breaks my Switch, I'll be upset. But when I take these out, and then I put the, I think it's called Nexi. It just looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to the Switch because it's flat, and it's flat up here, not compared to be in the back. So definitely another added bonus, just comparing it to the Split Pad Pros. Now, Split Pad Pros got turbo buttons and things of that nature. I mean, I usually don't use turbo buttons on my systems, but it is what it is. It has the extra buttons here in the back. I believe the Split Pad Pro also has it here too. So you have mappable buttons, just like this one here. You only got, you have 4 on the Dolby controller. But once again, I mean, it's all about what you do, how you do it. I just think this right here, it fits really, really comfortable in my hands. Love the D-pad. I love the stick on this side here, man. I'm about ready to crown this the best controller for the Switch. And you know, on top of that, you know what? These bad boys, if I'm correct, they let me see if I can take these off. I believe, and as you can see, let me take this one off too. You can use these bad boys wirelessly. As you can see, everything works pretty well here on the Switch. And then, you know, that's a bonus, man. But would I use these like this here? Probably not, but if I had to, sure. And then of course, you know, also with the case here, this makes this a really, really nice controller, man. This is to me, this is where it's at when you try to play Smash Brothers or something, and you know, you get the full experience here. I mean, great controller, man. All right, good people, this is your boy Gaming Dad again with my final verdict of the Nexi controller. Let's go over the cons real quick. First, that the plastic feels really cheap. I think they could have did a better job on making a quality product, but I mean, it's durable. It's just the plastic feels cheap. You know, they could have did better with that. That's just my opinion. You know, once again, potato. You know, the next one is that I wish that the buttons was a little bit more snappier. If you can, the front buttons are great. You know, they're pretty snappy, pretty punchy. It's when you get to the shoulder buttons when you get the issue. It's a little smooth, a little mushy. I wish it had a little bit more snap to it. That's just me personally. You might like this smush. I don't know. The third thing, and probably my last thing, is that I had issues with connections with this particular joystick, the left one. I would run into issues where if I detached them and hooked them up to the plate they provided, only this one would stay connected, and then all of a sudden this one would disconnect. But it was an easy fix. All I had to do was take it off and reattach it to the switch, and it came back just like that. Take it back off, put it back on, and I was back in business. But those are my only 3 flaws with this controller. Like I said before, it's a phenomenal controller, especially with it on the Switch. So let's get into our pros. And so first we're gonna start off with that one. Hey, it feels excellent in the hands. I mean, really, if you have bigger hands, this is probably a better fit for you than the Pro controller, the one that's serviced by Nintendo. It gives you a little bit, it's a little bit wider. So I like that, how it felt in my hand, especially when I was playing. So it was like, it was no really drop off from having to switch on the controllers compared to having this plate, because of how wide it is. It still gives you that same sense of feeling between the two. The next positive is that the thumbsticks are really, really good. Good travel distance. And I like the fact that they have like the rubberized grip, rounded grip on each controller. I've reviewed some other controllers where it only came on one side, but this one right here is servicing, does it very well by having it on both. Both the right and the left are both wireless and can be charged via USB-C. Right here on the bottom. I'll go ahead and let you check that out. Boom. USB-C here on the bottom, and you can detach them and use them wirelessly. Now, I've played Nintendo Switch Sports, and of course Nintendo hijacked it for third-party controllers where you can't really use their third-party controllers, which I understand. But if you plan on using these for Wii Sports, you gotta cut it, gotta get the originals. But I would tell you that even though I can charge them wirelessly, I can also charge them connected to the Switch. So they connect to the Switch very well, and they charge just like you charge any other Joy-Con. So kudos to them for making it both ways. I like that aspect of it. It has a phenomenal D-pad. Oh man, probably the second, it's probably the third best D-pad. And I always use Pac-Man 99 as my litmus test, and it performed very well on Pac-Man 99. I like it probably a little bit better. I could say it's number 2 instead of number 1, or number 3 rather, because of the fact that it's wider. It's a wider D-pad. It's a little bit more flush, and I can, when it comes to Pac-Man 99, I can get right into it with no problems. And I like that it's a bigger D-pad compared to the number 1 and number 2. My number 2 is, let me show you this in here. Number 2 is the Nano Pro. That D-pad, boy, is outstanding. Great, great D-pad. And number 1 is the D-pad from the Nintendo Switch Lite. Great. It's probably the best D-pad. But it's small, but they're both small. So if you want a bigger D-pad, you know what? This is where it's at, hands down. Like I said before, they can be attached and the system can be docked. You can wake the system up if they're connected. Let me see. Nope. So even connected or not, you can wake the system by hitting the home button, and it connects right away. But like I said before, like, hey, I wake the system up, right? And you can see it. You see only one side is connected. I was able to wake the system. One side is connected, the other side wouldn't connect. Let's see. Let me see if I can fix that. All right, so what I had to do is that you gotta click both buttons. That's crazy, right? So that's something new. You gotta click both buttons if you want them both to connect. So you click the one button first that you usually use, the home button that you usually use to connect the system. You click that one first. Then after you click that one, the system awakes. Then you hit the other button, the capture button, which will also awaken this particular controller, and then they both work. So hey, we learned something new together on camera. And I think the final thing that I think when you're looking at this controller is that it is a better designed controller than your Split Pad Pro. And I showed it earlier in the video how when they sit inside the system, let me show you here, just to kind of remind you, when they sit inside the system, now if you look at it close, you can see that it's flush with the top, and you get a little crease here at the bottom, just a little bit, just a little crease. But with the Split Pad Pros on, it's the reverse. You know, the gap is here up top and compared to being down bottom. So I think overall it's a better design than Split Pad Pro. And I think overall my final score for these controllers is that it gets a 5 out of 5. And for these reasons alone, because of how light it is, how great it is as a regular Pro controller and as a grip that fits onto your Switch. Those things, man, you just can't take away from the level of comfort. And when I'm sitting down and I'm playing these long sessions of Pac-Man 99 or Metroid, you know, how comfortable is it in my hands, and this fits the bill. It's only one other controller that to me that came close, and this beats out my former #1 of the Adobe controller. These right here are the best controllers you can get for your Nintendo Switch. This is your boy Gaming Dad. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Don't forget, we're live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for This Week in Gaming, where we talk about the latest and greatest in news around the globe, and we talk about right here on this channel. Non-toxic environment, great community. Come out and join us. I'm telling you, once you get in, you'll love and you'll want to come back every Monday. And plus, we give out a free Nintendo eShop card every Monday night. This is your boy Gaming Dad, signing off. We out of here. Peace.